Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in this reading was requested by a viewer here. I thought it was a very interesting topic. It's about how do they feel about the cultural, religious, or class differences between the both of you. So today we're gonna pick our three piles together. So obviously we have one, the Horned God. For two, we have the Athame. And for pile number three, we have Crystal Ball. Now take a look at these three pictures and see which one you're the most drawn to, and that's probably the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, then there's definitely more messages there for you that you need to know about. As usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your timestamps and I'll see you in your readings. This is of course pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Hi, pile number 1. I see some good news for you here today in your reading, but before we jump into conclusions, let me first give you a very quick introduction so that you can follow up with what I want to tell you. So first of all, the Horned God is a god of nature and the underworld and wild places. He's a central deity in Wicca, and is the lord of the earth and guardian to the underworld. So straight away you see a balance here between wanting a person who wants to keep their beliefs and a person who is open-minded to whatever comes their way. A balanced person here. So I don't think, pile number 1, you're going to have a lot of trouble with the person you're inquiring about. In fact, the Horned God in this card is depicted as being completely naked. So I think this person, as strong as he is, will be quite transparent with you. Usually when the Horned God comes out, it's about feeling the need to seek more genuine joy and deeper connectedness. By freeing emotions and inhibitions. So straight away, I see that this person greatly respects their roots, their beliefs, but at the same time is open-minded enough to let go of what is not serving them and to experience other cultures and other people than what they are used to. So that's right off the bat coming off as a great start, to be quite frank. We didn't even look at the cards yet, but this is great news here. You have an open-minded person who's ready to explore, who's ready to listen, who's ready to compromise and be patient. So I'm very happy with that. But you will also see the side of them that truly respects what their beliefs or their culture or what they've learned from their parents. They hold on to it powerfully. In fact, they have great beliefs for the things they cherish, but at the same time they're very open to listening and changing their minds if it makes sense. So that's a great person right there, pile number 1. I'm glad you clicked on this reading. So let's see. How does your person feel about the cultural, religious, or class differences? Whoa, you have a lot of messages there, pile number 1. Let's see, you have the moon. Okay. You have 5 of Cups. Right. There are 3 here. Okay, you have Judgment. I see the same color palette repeating itself, even though this is a very colorful deck. Right, there we go. You have the 8 of Wands. Let me make space so you can see everything with me. Right. I think now you can clearly see all the cards coming up for you. Okay, you have one more card here that popped out, Queen of Pentacles. Do you see that? No. We need to push everything up. Right, let me fix this situation. Hold on. All right, that's much better. Now, I wanted to use the Osho deck for clarification on your cards, but it seems that your cards really chose itself. So we have the Queen of Pentacles here right under the moon, and now we need 3 cards to clarify the situation here. So what does pile number 1's person feel about the differences in maybe religious, cultural, or class differences between them? All right, so we have clinging to the past right under 5 of Cups. That's really cool here. You have awareness under judgment. I mean, how are your cards so clear? You have traveling right under 8 of Wands. My God, pile number 1. Your cards are extremely clear. They're very coherent, especially with the horned god that came in the beginning. I felt like this card wanted to come out, and since we're removing this, I'm actually going to take it out. Morality. The duality in these cards are just amazing. So pile number 1. Here is the situation. It seems like your person has very deep feelings for you. They may not be telling you about everything that's going on behind the scenes or in their minds, because they have to weigh things out. Remember when we said they're balanced people and they're still thinking about what is right and what is wrong. But you are a prompt to them, helping them think about what they need to consider and what they need to keep. So you have here you, and we'll talk about you in a moment, because I really like you here, pile number 1. You're a very confident person who knows their self-worth and is not gonna budge if there is not enough, if there isn't any self-respect. So they know that they need to be very careful with you here. But they also know that you're quite an open-minded person yourself. Do you see all these leaves coming out of your beautiful scarf here? You're very elegant, classy, and you know your self-worth. You appreciate them, but at the same time, you appreciate yourself. So we have 2 very strong characters here in this reading. And this person, obviously, just like the horned goddess, is going back and forth between their deep admiration for you. You obviously come out as a very unique person that they would love to be with, but at the same time they're quite stuck because they have things that they really believe in. Do you see here the morality card? Yes, I think you can. So they're stuck between 2 worlds, but at the same time, they're secretly considering the pros and cons, how they can go about it with you, because as much as they believe and cherish the beliefs that they've been brought up with, they are at the same time in great admiration for you, and they do see so much benefits that they maybe need to open their minds to words. Pile number 1. See, there's this clinging to the past morality. I think that this person at the moment is quite troubled between what to keep in their beliefs and what to definitely drop out. Now, this is some great news, because this means that this is an open-minded and broad person that would fit in different culture relationship. Different culture, whatever the differences are. That's the sort of mentality that you need. Respecting your beliefs, but at the same time, being open-minded enough to listen and consider and challenge maybe false beliefs, while respecting your own. So I see this person going through a purge process, a slight purge process, deciding what to keep and what to purge, and keeping their minds open. Do you see how there are 3 cups here that are empty, ready to be filled? So they're going through this process of what is important for me, that maybe they would need to discuss with you, and at the same time purging what is not right, thinking about what could be false beliefs in terms of your relationship, ready and open to talk about it, and keeping their minds very open. So that's the sort of balance we see here. That's a wonderful person here, very open-minded person who seems to cherish you a lot, pile number 3. Now, the reason I'm saying that this is a very wonderful person is you have the Judgment card with clarified by awareness. Do you see how in both cards, pile number 1, and this is no coincidence, a person changing and letting go of what is not serving them and rising above what could hurt them and you. Do you see that, pile number 1? That is definitely not a coincidence here. I see a person blossoming, releasing what they don't need and growing into a more blossomed person that actually believes in having a balanced relationship even within themselves, of keeping what is right and treating you right and changing their beliefs if it's not fitting. Wow, I'm amazed with your cards, pile number 1. See here, you have the 8 of Wands clarified by traveling. Now, traveling doesn't necessarily mean moving to another country, although for some of you, since this came out, you'll definitely be resonating with that. So I see a person ready to leave either their lands for you or ready to leave a lot of their beliefs for you, ready to leave. And what's the right word that I'm letting go of? Compromise. Willing to compromise a lot of the things in order to move and be with you, to make this happen. Wonderful pile here. I see 2 very open-minded people here. Both of you seem like you really deserve each other. Very transparent person who is strong but loving at the same time. And I see an intention here of a person not just changing themselves, but ready to take action, ready to compromise, discuss with you what could be compromised and what needs to stay. A person who's ready to educate themselves about what is right and what is wrong, what to keep and discuss it with you, and what to let out. Discuss the positives and the negatives between the differences in maybe culture or religion, and how to make it work between the both of you. I can't help but look at this card on how, with the Judgment card, there's somebody rising and blossoming. It looks nearly as if it was part of the card. Do you see that, pile number 1? And it strikes me also that the Judgment card with the blossoming idea is right next to the 8 of Wands. So I see someone quickly changing, quickly growing, and quickly wanting to take action, leave behind what is not serving them, and go after what is growing and going after what they now believe in. Don't be too optimistic here, pile number 1. I don't think this person is going to fully leave behind who they are at all. Be careful. You too, pile number 1, will have to deal with a stern part here, the other side of this person, a side that they're going to be strongly holding on to, strongly believe, and it might make you feel a little bit stuck. It's not going to be easy for you at all either. You're quite open-minded, but I can definitely see that, but I'm inviting you to also go through this purging process just like your person has, and start accepting, first of all, the things that they truly believe in and want to hold on to, but at the same time see how you can make it work for your character and for your person's character, pile number 1. They are going through, there are a lot of triangles here. It reminds me of math and trigonometry. There's a lot of accurate planning going on here. There's a lot of considering what other people are going to say, the chitter chatter. Their families, maybe their friends, they have to deal with a lot, but they're letting it go bit by bit. And watching this great purging process and how much effort and mind and thinking process they're going through for you, pile number 2, which they truly appreciate you. I see they hold you like a queen here. I think you too, with the things that you just hate that keeps you stuck. I'm not telling you to let go of what you don't believe in at all. I'm just saying that maybe you can consider as well, because it will be a tough process for you, but you need to go through this process as well and think how you can fit the things that they believe in. How can you both talk together and make it easier for you, this side of them, just like they are very, very disciplined in terms of thinking how they can make it easy for you as well, pile number 1. And the advice, the strong advice for both of you, in terms of the process that you need to go through, whether it's with you or with them, is to not conform to what society expects of you when it comes to the way you're both going to live together, because I see a lot of chitter chatter for both of you. To let go of what other people think completely, never let it affect your thought process of how both of you believe your lives should go like. So pile number 1, it was an honor doing this reading for you. I wish you all the best of luck. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And maybe comment if you've made it this far. Please leave a flower comment, because that's what came in your card. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number 2. So this is a really interesting reading for you. You have the Athame here, and if you're wondering what is the 9 of Cups doing here, as I was shuffling your deck, this popped out, and I was going to put it back, but then I said, no, it popped out, and I have to keep it for pile number 2. So it came out for you, and it was just wrong to put it back. So with the Athame here and the 9 of Cups, I see a wish fulfillment in love coming. I see a person taking action towards something. Sorry for the noise. So you see here, it says the commander of power, a person who has masculine energy, whether this is a man or a woman, but the Athame has masculine energy, which means being confident about your situation, wanting to take action on something. So the Athame is a ceremonial blade and is traditionally black-handled, as you can see, a black-handled knife with a double-edged metal blade. So it was used in Wiccan ceremonies, and I think it was used to cast circles, just like you see the circle here. It was used to cast circles to direct magical energies during the traditional Wiccan rituals, like we said. So I see this person standing up, being strong, and taking action towards their fulfillment in love, which is great news here for you, pile number 2. I believe it's a person standing up for what they want and what they believe. When the Athame appears, it means that this person or you is ready to move to the world with confidence and get what they want. It's a person who's building a strength, but at the same time checking personal boundaries, making sure that they're in place, that everything is serving them as well. So there is duality here, just like pile number 1. A person who's ready to, well, here I can definitely see action. So here it's different, because this is a person who's ready to take action, but at the same time expect that this person will be discussing personal boundaries, or to put it in a better way, a person who will be discussing what they believe in and what they believe they should hold on to, taking matters into their own hands while discussing how they can make it fair for you and fair for them, but at the same time taking a lead on this because they want to be fair to you. The sword is about speaking the truth. They want to be fair, but at the same time they want to be fair to themselves as well. Very a leader here. We're really discussing a person who's strong, a leader, charismatic, and does the right thing, but does it with strength. All right, now let's take a look at what your tarot cards have to say. I mean, your first card popped out, and I believe this goes right under your Athame, because commander of power, this is exactly it. 5 is change, so this is a time for change for this person, to take action on their wish fulfillment, on their emotional wish fulfillment. They are confident about what they feel and what they want, and now they're ready to take action. So that's great news here, pile number 2. So I feel like right now their power to put it all together is at its peak. It's a time where it's at its peak. So expect a movement to happen, pile number 2. All right, so how does pile number 2's person feel about their cultural or maybe religious or class differences maybe between them? Let's see. So you have 7 of Wands, setting healthy boundaries calmly for them and for you. So this is also about protecting what is important for you, while at the same 2 circles, do you see here, pile number 2? So they'll be respecting what is important for you and making sure with as much power to respect what is important for you. Now that's great leadership here, pile number 2. I see why they're taking the lead now. That makes a lot of sense. Interesting, pile number 2. I just got hit with a weird idea. This looks like this is a very unique person who is going to make you very happy, will cherish you a lot. And I think their amazing treatment for you and how much they're willing to let go just for you is going to let other people maybe bite their nails hoping to have had a shot with you. I don't know why I got hit with that. It might be a special message for you. Okay, so let's go on. You have 4 of Cups. You have Judgment again. You might want to check pile number 1, pile number 2. There are a lot of similarities here. This card appeared in the same place, so you might want to check that. The Wheel of Fortune. Wow, things are going really well for you, pile number 2. I mean, 2 in itself means union, so expect things to go really well for you, pile number 2. I'm very happy for you. Now, there are cards that we need to discuss. It's not all blossom and bloom. I mean, if you check pile number 1, we talked about how this flower was in the right place of somebody blossoming. You'll be really surprised. You might want to check pile number 1. It's amazing how there are just striking similarities from the very beginning. The same message even. So you might get more information from pile number 1. So you have conditioning here, which is the Death card, by the way, right under 7 of Wands. That's rebirth. Totality. Now, how interesting, right under the 4 of Cups. You have the Burden, which is right under Judgment. And you have Consciousness right under the Wheel of Fortune. So interesting, pile number 2. So here you have the Five of Wands, you have the Six of Swords. Now this is a very interesting combination here. The Five of Wands is really depicted in a completely different manner here in the Osho deck. Now in the usual Five of Wands, you see people fighting with each other instead of reaching a sane conclusion that serves all of them. Here it's depicted in a very different way. You see that there are three playful, free-spirited women who are in a risky situation. But yet, if they don't focus in a split of a second, they can lose everything. But so there's a lot of attentiveness and being in the moment, taking a risk and being very, very attentive to make it happen. So I see both of you, for both of you, pile number two, yeah. It is quite a risky situation. Might be risky because of your family, because of your community, maybe it's a financial issue. It's not quite clear to me here. But I see both of you taking this bold, risky action and holding on together. It's your belief in yourselves and in each other that makes you take this risk, believing that there's going to be totality, that both of you will save each other if you make it. With the Four of Cups here, I see there's a lot to lose, by the way, whether it's for one of you or both of you. But at the same time, so much to gain that is more worthwhile. So I see both of you taking this risk, accepting what is there to lose, and having faith in each other, feeling like you are each other's greatest gifts that you can give to each other, rather than whatever it is that you're going to lose here. I see, again, with the conditioning card, which I said was the death card and rebirth, which means there's going to be, both of you are going to close the chapter to your past lives without each other, and taking a risk, being bold, and getting into this relationship with each other very soon. A lot of action taking cards. I see that you are greatly supported by the universe, that fortune will come on your side. You'll be really supported. It looks like it's a blessed relationship that is going to work out just fine. Fortune also reminds me of finances. So if you're worried about losing finances, you might not lose it, or you might be making instead a lot of it here. So don't worry about finances. You're greatly supported. I think you're growing, both of you taking the right action, because again, just like pile number one, it's in the same place. Both of you are releasing what the ideas that is not serving you. You've both maybe discussed and challenged false beliefs gently and respectfully. I think you're both strong, especially that this character is striking to me, shows me a leader who is self-confident, open-minded, and ready to discuss truthfully whether things are working for them or for you. They'll say what is right, even if it challenges their own beliefs, but at the same time they're ready to tell you when things don't make sense on the other side as well. And I see both of you have grown a lot. You've both made a lot of changes. There's a lot of rising and blossoming happening here. You've both judged yourself kindly, your thoughts, and thought about what is right. And this is clarified by the burden card here, which is the Six of Swords. Remember, the Six of Swords in general, Six of Swords, is a card that has to do with movement. And here I see maybe two scared people, worried, that have a long way to, that they're kind of afraid of, but they're greatly guided by their wisdom and by being alert to what is right and what is wrong, and starting to move towards that pile number two. Both of you really deserve each other here. Two strong characters that respect their boundaries, but at the same time are open-minded to listen to each other. Pile number 2. See, Seven of Wands here in the Rider-Waite-Smith. You can see a stern look to them while they defend their boundaries. But with you here, pile number 2, I see a calm person who is meditating and thinking about what is consciously right, accepting what is right and refusing what is wrong. This person also is wearing red, ready to take action on what they need to change and what they want to keep, ready to sternly stand up for what they believe as well. So we have a strong leader here as well. But I think you enjoy this person's leadership skills, pile number 2. This person sets boundaries, strong boundaries, calmer, I think. They do it by discussing more. They're less emotional about it and they're more all about discussing it calmly. And at the same time, I see here, pile number 2, that you are also a very calm person who is ready to take action on the things that you believe in. Now let's look at the Wheel of Fortune here, because it's a very strong card, a major arcana. In fact, it's actually my favorite card in the whole deck. And we didn't give it enough attention. And I believe now's the time to take a great look after we've discussed the three areas here that we wanted to discuss, with the boundaries of taking a leap of faith in yourself and changing yourselves for each other. We need to now discuss fortune in your way. So I see here that this relationship is going to be blessed and that things are really going to go your way because both of you are very wise people. And with the Ace of Swords here, I see that as long as both of you are truthful to each other, transparent, and keeping an open mind, because this is what the Ace of Swords is all about here, especially that it's depicted as a Buddha who is expansive and has gone beyond the stars and above his head with pure emptiness. So none of your intentions, hidden agendas, it should influence anything in this relationship. So as long as you keep an honest open-mindedness about this relationship, keeping it pure and transparent, you will have great fortune in your relationship. And that's an advice here. And another thing that I just noticed, which blew my mind, you have the Athame here, which kind of looks like the Ace of Swords in itself. And you have another Ace of Swords here, two Aces of Swords, showing me that there are two people willing to honestly speak to each other and take action with communication. So pile number 2, this was a great reading. I love how open-minded both of you are, because it takes two open-minded people to compromise and be patient and communicate any misunderstandings coming from two different worlds. And you really both deserve each other. So all the best of luck with your wish fulfillment that popped up in emotion, in your emotional life. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you've made it that far. Maybe leave a coffee cup as a token for good luck in your relationship. I would love to connect with you. And don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number 3. So before I get into this reading, I have to tell you something that was very interesting that happened as I prepared your pile. And it's becoming a theme here. I see that there are messages coming from you. I've noticed that I left the candle unlit, or it went off in the second pile. And then as I started this reading, I noticed that it was off. And I tried to lit it. In fact, let me show you. And it was finished. So I had to go and get another one. And this, right off the bat, shows me that there has a new spark in your person. New love new flame happening. Someone who's been smitten by you, pile number 3. So we'll take that into consideration. Now we know the direction of where this is going. And let's take a look at the pile that you chose. So you've chosen the crystal ball. And the crystal ball is well-known and well-loved divinatory tool. It's of course used for divination, to see the future, divining the future, delving into the psyche. It helps facilitate clairvoyant vision. So it kind of helps us detach from third dimensional restrictions and having a clear vision about what's real and what's not. So I see a person here who is led with wisdom, led by passion of this new, led by love and passion of this new love that suddenly struck them. And smitten by you. So interesting. It seems like you're a very alluring character, that you're very unique, someone that really struck them. And this is causing them at the moment to really think about what is important and what's not. Letting go of, like we said, the third world dimensional restrictions, and questioning themselves. What is really important? And seeing all the noise that's coming from maybe family, friends, and the community about the differences maybe between you. I think this person is having now clear vision about what's important and are they right or are they wrong, and starting to make up their own minds about the situation. There's a lot of thought, emotional thoughts in specific, but at the same time, wise thoughts. It's these tools that are guiding this person because it's a tough situation. They are on a bark of a tree, meaning that they respect their roots, but at the same time, they're not attached to it because they have a clear vision of how they want to move. And the way they're thinking about whether the people around them or not are going to like it is very interesting. It's an analogy that I put and that I relate with this card that is very interesting, that I love very much. And it's about taking a look at water. So like, just as each drop of water makes up a river and each river makes up an ocean, one should follow the course that is right for them, because there you will meet up with those whose rivers is flowing to the same ocean as yours. So I see this person only wanting to keep the people who respect their emotions, respect their choices in life, while keeping the people who mean a lot to them, their roots. I think they'll be feeding these people with a lot of wisdom. They're not going to let go of them, but they are going to be very patient and wise with them and discuss the situation and make them understand from their point of view how they see it. Very interesting reading here. I think they'll be putting in a lot of wisdom to make other people open their minds up, just like a crystal ball, see with better vision. And what is important for them, what makes them happy. So they're dealing with their community in a very, very wise way here, and ready to let go of those who don't respect what they want. We'll see more about that with your cards. We'll see how they truly feel about the differences between both of you in terms of your differences in culture, class, finances, religious. We'll find out now what it is, but it's a new spark for sure. This person's been smitten is what I keep hearing. I think this person does not want to conform to what society expects of them when it comes to their emotions and their feelings. So this person is not on their road to figuring out what they want because they're clear about what they want. So if you want someone who is more established in their thoughts, and someone who cultivates relationships based on their meaning rather than 3D dimensional restrictions, this is definitely the person for you, pile number 3. Okay, so you have the Page of Swords, somebody educating themselves very well on the differences between both of you, making sure that they are fair, tiptoeing, making sure they don't hurt you, themselves, obviously first, so that they don't fall, nor the people that they believe in, the rooted ideas and beliefs. But they're definitely free thinkers. And that is what they will be always holding on to. Free thinking, they're willing to go out of their way and do things that maybe you don't like or their families don't like. They believe in their freedom of thought, first and foremost, before anything else. They like to figure things out for themselves. 5 of Wands, interesting. You have 9 of Swords. I see a lot of family members here who could be really hurt about this. Close people who could be hurt, who think this person may be abandoning them, falsely thinking. I see a lot of quarrels happening because of this, maybe. It's a very hot topic. But I see this person being completely unbothered and doing only what they believe in, but handling the situation in a wise way nonetheless. So it's not difficult in terms of the people around them at all, pile number 4. Especially that this is just igniting. It's in the very beginning where you're going to have to see things like that. But this person, at the same time, will be setting very strong boundaries because this is who they are as a person. Making sure that nobody crosses what they want and what they believe in. So this is just a quick overview of what's going on. I usually like reading the whole cards together, but sometimes it's just channeling and I have to let it out as it is. Okay, so let's take your Osho cards and see the situation better. So you have, what is pile number 3's person? What does pile number 3's person think about the different cultural, maybe religious, class, circumstances between them? Integration. Okay. You have silence. Right. Now that's making a lot of sense and it's quite interesting so far. Very interesting. I think you need to see the cards better. Let me push these up so you can see them. No. All right, let me fix the situation and come back. Right. You have awareness, right, under 5 of Wands. Makes all the sense in the world. Okay, you have breakthrough under Page of Swords. Lovely. Let's take one more card here. I don't want to push your new ignited love. In fact, I'm just going to take it here for you. Let's take this out of the way. Yeah, their crown chakra is opening up along with their throat chakra. Okay, so very unique reading here. Let's take one more card. Postponement right under crystal ball. So pile number 3, very interesting reading here. I think this new passion that this person felt is really pushing them out of their usual thought boundaries. Now I think that this person is starting to take action on gaining more information, maybe about you, about the differences between both of you. You might have noticed that they're asking you questions, or maybe they're doing it behind their back and educating themselves more about you, more about the situation in general. That's going to be different how they collect this information between one person and the other. But they are gaining more information, and they're doing it with an open-mindedness. They're being free thinkers here. And I think the more they educate themselves, the more they're going to have more realization about, they have more aha moments, more breakthroughs, more epiphanies about, well, maybe I wasn't doing this right the whole time. Maybe they're right about this. Or maybe, I knew this was right. I think I could discuss maybe this area with this person. So there's a lot of studying and epiphanies and aha moments going on here. Maybe they're asking friends. They're definitely in the phase of educating themselves. And you see here that they're going to be taking their time to study the situation. That's why it says postponement. Because there's a lot to deal with here. You see a person being in a gray and white area, being afraid in the beginning when it was first ignited, that it might be a bit too difficult. But I think the more they read about it, the more they see the world in color, the more they have hope, and the more they fall in love with the situation even more. I think they like a lot of the things that you believe in, but at the same time, they're very courageous. It's like an Aries air here, taking action, taking action, taking action. They might have an air sign in their, if I said it, it's true, right? They might have an air sign in their chart, or Aries somewhere in their chart. Not necessarily, but that's the kind of energy here. And of course, air, because they educate themselves. So they could have any of these two. But there's definitely a lot of action taking, which is fire, and a lot of thought, which is air. Especially with the clear vision crystal ball here. That's why you pick the crystal ball, because this person is improving the clarity of the situation, educating themselves. You might want to gift them. What was the clarity stone called? Let me remember. Okay, when I remember, I'm going to tell you about it. You're meant to know it when I remember it. So back to the situation. They are really educating themselves here, and they're starting to be very optimistic about the situation. But it's not going to be easy in the beginning, pile number 3, at all. I think they can already imagine the sort of disappointment that they could cause their families or their loved ones around them for some reason. They can already think of the different quarrels and how this is going to go with the people around them. It's a very hot topic, like we said, but I think they're very ready to face it. It was, as you can see with the awareness card here, in the shadows, they're afraid, meaning that when they think about it, it freaks them out, but they're ready to face it. And this is the definition of being courageous. And you love that kind of person, pile number 3. I see why you admire them. If you've clicked on this reading, you probably do. But I see this person being courageous. And the definition of courageous is not being afraid. It's taking action despite your fears. Now that's a courageous person here. They're afraid that they can cause disappointment and hurt to the people around them, that they may not talk to them as a result. That's one of the things that is really making them afraid. But at the same time, they are courageous and ready to face it, because like we said from the very beginning, that this person is going to follow their stream. This is a person who follows what they believe in, whether people join in or not. They truly do wish that the dear people join them in, and this is why they're going to be very patient and wise with them. They're going to stick to their roots as much as they can. But do you see that the crystal ball or the clear vision here is not stuck to the tree? They want to be with the tree, their roots, but they're willing to move on if this connection with them doesn't establish itself in the way where they feel that their wants and beliefs and heart is being honored. And so there is a tricky situation here, for sure. It's not going to be easy, pile number 3, but I see this person setting strong boundaries, standing tall and strong to the things that they believe in, speaking powerfully about them, and making sure that the message is clear, making sure that they communicate with clarity about what they believe in, pile number 3. So with the integration card here, pile number 3, I see both of you coming together. Both of you coming together from 2 different worlds and making it happen by considering the 2 sides of the equation, being crystal clear about how to be fair to each other, about educating yourselves on both sides, where both of you, because I see 2 people here, a red side and a blue side, 2 people coming together, considering each other's different beliefs and being open-minded about talking about the different aspects, maybe challenging negative beliefs in a more respectful way, being patient with each other until you both adapt, learning to compromise what is not serving both of you and adapting to and taking in what serves both of you, learning to be supportive to each other's families and friends and being patient with them. It's a tough journey if you both decide to be with each other. So there's completion, coming together. This crystal reminds me of the crystal I wanted to tell you in the beginning. Malachite. Maybe you would want to gift them a malachite because it supports in clarity of thought, clarity of, just like the crystal ball here, which is their pile. So maybe it will help them in understanding the information that they're learning about quickly, putting the picture together. So malachite could be your stone here. Isn't that cute? So I see this relationship being supported by a lot of love and a lot of courage and confidence from both of you, pile number 2. I see both of you will have to eat up some of your thoughts, let go of some of your beliefs, some of the things you're used to that you're comfortable with. You might be a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning while coming together and letting go of what you're used to was okay, and adapting and loving the new side of the differences that come, the benefits that come from the different sides of you. Wonderful, wonderful new ignited passion here. That is going to be a bit too tricky in the beginning, but I see a courageous person standing up for you, making it happen, pile number 3. So all the best of luck in this relationship. I see a relationship that is going to blossom soon. I think this is a person, like I said, who is smitten by you. I see you maybe a very unique person who they are sure, they're starting to feel sure that they want. So I have a lot of admiration for you guys. Thank you for passing by. If you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. And if you've made it this far, leave a star emoji because they've been smitten by you and it seems like you're a very unique person. And don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye!